Bylaws are legally binding documents that serve as the internal constitution for organizations. Whether you run a nonprofit or a for-profit corporation, understanding the legal status and importance of bylaws is crucial for proper governance and compliance. Bylaws function as both a legally binding contract and an operational roadmap for your organization. The IRS requires bylaws to be included when forming a corporation, regardless of whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. These documents establish the rules by which your organization operates and must comply with state and federal laws. For nonprofit organizations, incorporation offers significant advantages. While not mandatory, incorporating provides limited liability protection, shielding your personal assets if something goes wrong. Additionally, incorporation makes it easier to obtain tax-exempt status as a 501c3 organization from the IRS. Small nonprofits with limited income might operate as unincorporated associations, but most organizations benefit from formal incorporation. It's important to understand how bylaws differ from Articles of Incorporation. Articles of Incorporation legally establish your entity with the state, outlining basic information like your organization's name, purpose, and registered agent. Bylaws, on the other hand, serve as the internal governance rules dictating how your organization operates. Articles are mandatory for incorporation, while bylaws establish operational procedures and can be amended more easily than Articles of Incorporation. Nonprofit bylaws should address several key operational elements. These include governance structure, board meeting protocols, decision-making procedures, committee formation processes, director qualifications and responsibilities, conflict of interest resolution, amendment procedures, and language affirming IRS requirements for tax-exempt status. While nonprofits have flexibility in crafting bylaws, they must not violate state laws governing essential governance procedures. Limited liability companies, or LLCs, typically don't require bylaws in the traditional sense. Instead, they use operating agreements that outline ownership structure, member roles, decision-making procedures, profit distributions, and dispute resolution protocols. Though not mandatory in all states, having an operating agreement prevents conflicts and clarifies management responsibilities. Organizations can amend their bylaws as needed. Each board member should have a copy of the bylaws, and they should be present at every board meeting. The amendment process is typically outlined within the bylaws themselves. As organizations grow, updates may be necessary to increase board size or modify member duties. Proper notification of proposed amendments is essential, and changes usually require approval by 2/3 of members. Corporate and nonprofit bylaws serve different organizational needs. Corporate bylaws define shareholder rights, establish executive roles, and outline financial management. Nonprofit bylaws focus on board duties, the organization's mission, fundraising policies, and tax compliance procedures. Both must align with relevant regulations to ensure legal compliance. Tax-exempt organizations must report bylaw changes to the IRS. Minor changes can be reported annually using IRS Form 990. However, significant changes to an organization's methods, purpose, or character should be reported immediately, as they could affect tax-exempt status. Organizations can submit new bylaws or a detailed letter outlining amendments to the IRS Exempt Organizations Determinations Office. An attorney can provide valuable assistance with bylaws by ensuring they comply with federal and state regulations, advising on legal obligations, and helping with amendments as organizations evolve. Well-drafted bylaws ensure smooth governance and protect the organization's legal standing. Bylaws form the foundation of organizational governance and compliance. They cannot override state or federal laws and must be regularly reviewed to reflect organizational changes and legal requirements. By creating comprehensive, legally sound bylaws, organizations establish clear operational guidelines that support their mission and protect their legal status.